Please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Tornadoes. This is CTN, a Clearwater digital media production. Today is Wednesday, April 17th. My name is Isaac Weiser. Today we have your latest school, local, and national news, so stay tuned because CTN starts now. In your headline news, a jury has found John Johnchuk guilty of first-degree murder in the death of his 5-year-old daughter, Phoebe Johnchuk. Johnchuk is guilty of dropping his daughter to her death from the Dick Meisner Bridge in 2015. He is automatically sentenced to life in prison. The jury reached its verdict just before 2 p.m. Tuesday. His face expressionless, Johnchuk turned to hug his public defender, Jessica Emanuel, then stood before the judge to hear his sentence. Johnchuk dropped his daughter more than 60 feet from the bridge. A police officer testified during the trial that he heard Phoebe screaming on the way down. Johnchuk then led law enforcement on a high-speed chase that ended with his arrest a short while later. In other news, the Pasco County Sheriff's Office released body cam video that shows the dramatic rescue of 10 people who were in the Gulf of Mexico near Aunt Claudia Island on Sunday when their pontoon boat flipped over in rough seas. Quote, "Sadly, we could have been talking about a mass casualty out there," said Sheriff Chris Nacco. "You talk about heroes. This is absolute heroism, what they did." Corporals Russ Meisner and Mitch Ballenbacher were in the process of getting their Marine unit boat blessed at the annual Blessing of Ships at Gulf Harbors when the rescue call came in at 2:51 p.m. A 20-foot pontoon boat carrying 13 people was swamped in the 3-foot waves and flipped over. Now to Ian with Sports Corner.
I'm Ian Gibson with this week's Sports Corner. The Tampa Bay Lightning ended their season in a disappointing fashion last night, losing and ultimately getting swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets, effectively eliminating them from the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's the first time in NHL history that the team with the best regular season record has been swept in the first round of the playoffs. The Lightning will now enter this offseason as well as with some major decisions to make regarding the contracts of players such as Braden Point and goalie Andrei Vasilevsky. The Tampa Bay Rays, now with the best record in the MLB, will look to maintain their great record and aim to win their 4th straight in a row as they continue their homestand and play the Baltimore Orioles tonight at Tropicana Field. Now to Chris with your school news.
I'm Chris Dugan with your school news. Seniors, remember to bring in your college acceptance letters so they can be displayed in the senior cafeteria. There's a Clearwater High baseball game at Spectrum Field versus Countryside on April 20th. Tickets are $13 and also include the high school game at 11 a.m. and the Threshers game at 6 p.m. with all-you-can-eat food and drink from 5 to 7 p.m. English National Honor Society is holding a book drive from April 16th to May 3rd. Please bring all book donations to Miss Katz in F8. The Lady Tornado softball team will celebrate senior night at 6:45 p.m. tonight before their game with Loyo. Admission is $4. Come out and congratulate senior Madison Saul and then cheer on the Tornadoes to victory. Now, back to the desk.
And finally, police say an unruly customer at a restaurant in Ohio pulled an iguana from under his shirt, swung it around, and threw it at the manager. Paynesville police were called to the Perkins restaurant around noon Tuesday. Police say they apprehended the suspect a few blocks away in the rough in the city, roughly 30 miles, 48 kilometers, northeast of Cleveland. Authorities did not say what had provoked the attack. If any students or teachers would like to have an announcement made on our show, please email Mr. Gordon at gordonw@pcsb.org. If you're a student, please have your club sponsor or coach send the email. Like us on Facebook at Clearwater Digital Media Productions for a look back at some of this year's broadcasts. Check out the CDMP Clearlight running all day for new announcements. Thank you for watching CTN. Have a great tornado day.